Hello dear students. So today as you all know we are discussing about the Mughal emperors, their major, how the Mughal empire was established, what was their major events, what were their campaigns. This we have done yesterday, but I just thought that I should revise it today as this topic, it's not topic, actually this is a table. You have to make this table. Children, I am telling you how to make this table. Okay, just check. यहाँ पे मैं आपको बना के बताती हूँ, आपको ये बनाना है. Got it? So first you make columns 3, 4, 5. हो सकता है आगे भी कॉलम्स बनाना पड़े. सबसे पहले लिखो नेम ऑफ द रूलर, नेम. ठीक है. In the second column you will write the year, from when to when did he rule, year. Okay, I'll make it in different manner. Just wait children. Okay, अब suppose here is name. पहला कौन था? बाबर. You write बाबर. Then his year of rule क्या था? 1526 to 1530. He ruled for a very less time. After that you will be writing here the battles he fought. कहाँ पे किसके साथ इनका battle हुआ, you will be writing about that. Then you will be writing which places did he conquer, कौन सी जगह इन्होंने conquer किया. And then you will be writing something about his family. भाई कितने थे, बहनें कितनी थी, what was the name of the mother, father and all these things. Got it? So children, you can see and you can understand this. You have to make, मैंने आपको एक example बता दिया है बच्चों, आपको ये बनाना है. You please make it in your notebooks and let me see how many of you can effectively make it, and then make this complete table. You have to start with Babar followed by Humayun. Just a minute children. You started with Babar followed by Humayun. Then yes, we have done it yesterday, Akbar, and then Aurangzeb. Got it? Shah Jahan, and last emperor was Aurangzeb. Okay children, so you have to mention about all these rulers and their campaigns and the way they have ruled in India, how did they expand their empire. This is there. आप एक बारी मेरी last video देखना, the yesterday's video that was there. Once you go through it, otherwise don't worry, I will be discussing it again. But today that we have to start, we will be starting it with this that is, you all can see this map, my dear children. Now here one thing, कहाँ पे, where was the Mughal rule? Just see all the shaded portion. You start it right from here. I'm sorry. You start it from Kabul, followed by Kandahar, followed by Srinagar, Kashmir, Lahore, Punjab, Panipat, Delhi, Mathura. All these places, children, you have to mark on the map, India map. Because if you don't mark it, you will not understand the extent of the Mughal empire. And this is one of the very important things that you need to know. Okay, इसमें देखो, all these places are there. The Mughal dynasty had the places that they have conquered. Allahabad is also there, Ranthambore, Malwa, Gujarat, Chittor, Ajmer, Amber, Delhi, Mathura, all these places. Patna is also there, but Varanasi is not there. Allahabad tak aa gaye, but what was the thing that they did not establish themselves in Varanasi? Varanasi, maybe we have some evidences of the Mughal dynasty, how they came, how they established themselves. कुछ जगह पे वी विल बी फाइंडिंग लॉट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशंस एंड लॉट ऑफ evidences which prove that the Mughals had a strong hold in वाराणसी as well. अभी हमने इसमें 2-3 जगह पढ़ा था, अहमदनगर, बीजापुर, गोलकोंडा. टिल हियर, गॉट इट चिल्ड्रन. ये देख रहे हो साउथ इंडिया, यहाँ से साउथ, ये देखो यहाँ पे मुंबई है. फ्रॉम हियर दिस प्लेस हियर इज मुंबई. From here, the complete the South Indian customs and traditions, South Indian states start. So the Mughals had come as far as Bijapur and Golconda. Golconda, children, Hyderabad के पास है. Okay. Very famous for the Golconda fort. The fort that is there, it is famous for that. Got it? Now, map तो ये वाला करना है आपको. I have already told you. Let me see how many of you do the map and then post it on the mail it to me so that I can check it properly. But still children, just go through it once. अभी ये देखो कि ये जो एम्पायर है, it was under अकबर एंड औरंगजेब. Got it? कि जितने भी प्लेसेस आप देख रहे हो इन दिस मैप, इट हैज बीन कॉन्कर्ड बाय अकबर एंड औरंगजेब. गॉट इट? नाउ वी विल बी अंडरस्टैंडिंग द मुगल ट्रेडिशंस ऑफ सक्सेशन. Succession means it was Mughal people, they did not believe in the rule of primogeniture. Now I know when we will be having the online classes, all the students will ask me the meaning of primogeniture. Got it? But children, you don't need to worry. The meaning is given just in the second line. पिताजी का साम्राज्य, पिताजी का राज्य किसके पास जाता है? बेटे के पास जाता है. मुगल्स को ऐसा नहीं लगता था. Mughals did not believe in the rule of primogeniture. That when the father had died, the complete throne, the complete power passes into the hands of the elder son. लेकिन ये क्या करते थे? They followed the Mughal and Timurid custom of compulsory inheritance. Now दो चीजें हैं, two words, new words. Children, it's very new word. Primogeniture means कि पिताजी, when the king dies, the throne or the empire or the complete power goes into the hands of the elder son. Got it? Primogeniture. लेकिन they believed in compulsory. What is this? Division of the inheritance amongst all the sons. Suppose कोई रूलर है, उनके 4 बेटे हैं, तो whichever places the ruler has conquered or whichever areas the ruler has conquered, he will divide it equally amongst his 4 sons. 4 बेटे हैं तो चारों को समान अधिकार मिलेगा, किसी के साथ भी अन्याय नहीं होगा. I'm sorry. Okay. So follow the highlighted passages in table 1 and note the evidence for rebellions by Mughal princes. Abhi again we will be going back to table 1. ठीक है? What do you think is a fairer division of inheritance? मतलब आपको क्या लगता है, प्राइमोजेनिचर सही है या compulsory सही है? Children, again I am explaining these words. I know still you all will be asking. You are most welcome to ask any question. I have no problems with that. But I find it my duty to explain the meaning of these words to you. Primogeniture and compulsory. Primogeniture means when the father dies, the throne goes into the hands of the eldest son. बड़े बेटे को सारा राजपाट मिल जाए. लेकिन compulsory is just opposite कि whatever whatever things the emperor is having or the king is having, he will be dividing it into his sons. Now we'll again go back to the table. Come, let's go to table 1. ये देखो table 1 का हम पहला से शुरू करते हैं, बाबर के टाइम से. Got it? I'm sorry. मुगल emperors. Okay. सबसे पहले तो इन्होंने एस्टैब्लिश किया अपने आप को, बाबर ने. He defeated Ibrahim Lodi, Afghan supporters at Panipat, and he also defeated Rana Sanga, Rajput rulers and allies at Khanua. There was the battle of Panipat, there was the battle of Khanua, and then there was the battle of Chanderi. All these battles that were there, from these battles, Babur had conquered the places, major places in India. And he established his control over Agra and Delhi before he had died. Complete power was in his hands. इसके बाद आए इनके बेटे, क्या नाम था इनके बेटे का? हुमायूं. Now try to understand, अभी जो हम बात कर रहे थे primogeniture and coparcenary. Okay? So you can see, children, very clearly it is mentioned here. How the succession had happened. ठीक है, एक तो हमने बाबर को देख लिया. नाउ जस्ट सी हुमायूं. हुमायूं का क्या था? He was very ambitious. He divided his inheritance according to the will of his father. His brothers were given a province, मतलब जैसा पिताजी चाहते थे. It was again a system of coparcenary that Babur did. Humayun did not do any injustice to his brothers. मिर्जा कामरान को इन्होंने लेकिन ambitions of his मिर्जा कामरान जो थे हुमायूं के ब्रदर थे, मतलब बाबर had so many sons. इन दोनों के बीच में ज़्यादा लड़ाई होती थी. दैट इज़ नॉट वेरी क्लियरली मेंशन हियर. फर्दर जब आप आगे चल के पढ़ते हैं इसको, देन दीज थिंग्स बिकम क्लियर टू यू. सो ही वॉज अगेंस्ट द अफगान कॉम्पिटिटर इनके टाइम पे, हुमायूं के टाइम पे. वन ऑफ द रूलर्स अदर देन द मुगल डायनास्टी बिकेम द रूलर ऑफ इंडिया, एंड व्हाट वाज हिज नेम? शेर खान. इन्होंने क्या किया? देयर वॉज द बैटल ऑफ चौसा इन 1539. चिल्ड्रन, अगेन आई रिक्वेस्ट यू, प्लीज रिमेंबर द ईयर 1539 एंड व्हाट वाज द बैटल ऑफ चौसा. बट हुमायूं वॉज नॉट गिविंग हिज एम्पायर वेरी इजली. सो अगेन दे मेट. यहाँ पे हुआ फिर बैटल ऑफ कन्नौज इन 1540. 1540 में इनकी फिर से लड़ाई हुई, फोर्सिंग हिम टू फ्ली टू ईरान. तो अब इनके पास क्या हुआ? हुमायूं हैड लॉस्ट टू शेर खान. इनके पास कोई उपाय नहीं बचा था. सो ही हैज़ टू रन अवे एंड गो टू ईरान. ईरान में व्हाट हैपेंड? हुमायूं रिसीव्ड हेल्प फ्रॉम द सफाविद शाह, लेकिन ही डाइड द नेक्स्ट ईयर. तो हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे कोपार्सनरी एंड प्रोमिजेनिचर. Akbar became independent. Now just see, 13 year के age में he became the ruler. You all know that very well, children. अकबर एक मूवी भी आई थी, आई थिंक, या वन मूवी हैड ऑल्सो कम. आप उसमें देखोगे तो आपको काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें क्लियर हो जाएंगी. यू कैन वॉच द मूवी. Akbar was independent of the regent Bairam Khan. Bairam Khan was the person who made Akbar as the ruler. Got it? अब 13 साल के बच्चे को कितनी अकल होती है. Imagine when you are 13 years old, how much you can rule a kingdom. You will be needing a help. So Bairam Khan was helping Akbar in ruling India. And he launched against the Suris, other Afghans, against the neighboring kingdoms. Malwa, Gondwana means Akbar ने 13 साल की उम्र में under the leadership of Bairam Khan had conquered many places in India. And he also suppressed the revolt of his half brother. Brother means पहले के ज़माने में the rulers who were there, they had so many queens. तो इन क्वीन से जो बाकी के जो बच्चे होते थे तो दे वेयर लाइक ब्रदर एंड सिस्टर्स ना. तो उज़्बेक्स वेयर देयर. 1568 में सिसोदिया कैपिटल ऑफ चित्तौड़ वॉज ऑल्सो टेकन फ्रॉम देम. हाँ, मतलब अभी ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि द होल ऑफ Rajasthan, mainly Mughals, what did they do? Gradually and slowly they were capturing the places in Rajasthan. तो चित्तौड़ कैप्चर किया, रणथंबोर कैप्चर किया, एंड 1570 to 1585 lot of military campaigns were there in Gujarat, and then there was a campaign in east, in Bihar, Bengal, Odisha. All these things were very complicated. अब देखो, these all were the brothers of the ruler. जो रूलर होते थे उनके जो ब्रदर्स होते थे, कितनी बार थ्रोन को लेने के लिए, राजशाही ठाट बाट को इंजॉय करने के लिए, एट टाइम्स इट यूज टू हैपन दैट दे यूज टू गो अगेंस्ट देयर ओन ब्रदर्स. तो प्रिंस सलीम ने फिर बाद में रिबेल कर दिया था. जहांगीर, ही वॉज फर्दर इन द फ्यूचर ही वॉज नोन एज जहांगीर. Military campaigns were there. Sisodia rulers of Mewar, Amar Singh accepted Mughal services. So the future Emperor Shah Jahan rebelled in the last years. Means rulers and their life was not very easy. बहुत आसान नहीं था. They have to face lot of hardship. Okay, children, that is there. So I'll be getting back to the topic that we were doing, where we were discussing table 1 में इन्होंने कहा था कि once just look table 1. That's why I had taken you to table 1, where we have discussed about two words, primogeniture and coparcenary. Now what we will see, मुगल रिलेशंस विद अदर रूलर्स. बाकी के जो एम्परर्स थे, बाकी के जो रूलर्स थे, उनके साथ मुगल किस तरह का रिलेशनशिप शेयर करते थे. सो मुगल रूलर्स हैड कैंपेन्ड कॉन्स्टेंटली. किसके खिलाफ? दोज हु हैड गॉन अगेंस्ट द मुगल रूलर्स. जो भी मुगल एम्परर के खिलाफ आवाज़ उठाता था, दे हैड टू फेस द रैथ. मीन्स मुगल रूलर्स वेर वेरी क्रूअल टू देम, जो कि मुगल रूलर्स की पावर को नहीं मानते थे. एंड इसमें सबसे बड़ा एग्जाम्पल जो हम देख सकते हैं, दैट इज राजपूत्स. मेनी ऑफ देम मैरिड देयर डॉटर्स टू मुगल एम्परर and received high positions, but many resisted. In Rajasthan, many rulers were there who accepted the Mughal power, but some of them they said कि ठीक है, Mughal power is okay, but we are not going to marry our daughters to the other culture. Okay. इसमें आप ये देखो, one very important point is given here. Mughal married Raj. Mother of Jahangir was Akbar's son, na? She was Kachwaha princess, daughter of राजपूत रूलर ऑफ एम्बेर. जयपुर के जो रूलर थे ना, उनकी बेटी के साथ इन्होंने शादी की थी. आई एम सॉरी चिल्ड्रन, जस्ट अ मिनट. And the mother of Shahjahan was a Rathor princess, daughter of Rajput ruler of Marwar. जोधपुर, जयपुर, इन जगहों के जो रूलर्स थे, दे हैव मेड कॉम्प्रोमाइज. कॉम्प्रोमाइज मीन्स देखो, सब लोग लड़ाई नहीं चाहते. एवरीबडी डजंट वांट टू गेट इनटू फाइट. सो दोज हु वेर पीसफुल पीपल, दे एक्सेप्टेड द मुगल पावर. उन्होंने कहा हाँ ठीक है, वॉट एवर मुगल्स आर डूइंग, लेट देम डू दैट एंड वी विल बी एक्सेप्टिंग द मुगल पावर. अपनी बेटियों की शादी कर दी. तो बेटियों की शादी कर दी तो ऑब्वियसली रिश्तेदारी हो गई ना. फिर वो अपने दामाद के साथ तो लड़ाई नहीं करेंगे, वॉर नहीं करेंगे. एंड सेम थिंग, दामाद भी अपने ससुर को तो नहीं मारेंगे. ठीक है, इसको खूब ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड इट इन अ वेरी सिंपल लैंग्वेज, माय डियर चिल्ड्रन. गॉट इट? सो राजपूत्स के साथ इन्होंने पूरी दोस्ती कर ली एंड मेनी ऑफ देम मैरिड द राजपूत प्रिंसेस. लेकिन एवरीबडी, I told you that some of them accepted the Mughal power, but many of them did not accept Mughal power. Especially the Sisodiya Rajputs of Mewar. Just see, children, some of the names you have to remember. The Sisodiya Rajputs of Mewar. They refused to accept Mughal authority for a long time. They said कि ठीक है, Mughals are powerful, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन हमेशा मुगल्स के पावर को एक्सेप्ट करना इनके लिए पॉसिबल नहीं था. सो दे वेयर ऑनरेबली ट्रीटेड बाय द मुगल्स. मुगल्स डिड नॉट इंसल्ट द रूलर्स. जो रूलर्स उनको एक्सेप्ट कर लेते थे एज देयर किंगडम्स, एज देयर रूलर, उनके साथ दे वेर बिहेविंग वेरी प्रॉपरली. दोज हु डिड नॉट, उनके साथ भी उतना अच्छा रिलेशन नहीं था, बट इंसल्ट नहीं करते थे. एंड दे वेर ऑनरेबल ट्रीटेड बाय मुगल्स, गिवन देयर लैंड्स. पहले जो मतलब जैसे राजस्थान, द रूलर्स ऑफ जोधपुर आर देयर, तो उनका वतन क्या था? उनका वतन था जोधपुर, द सिटी ऑफ जोधपुर. मतलब जो लैंड, जो ज़मीन उनकी है, उसको वो वतन कहते थे. एंड बैक एज असाइनमेंट्स वतन जागीर. So the careful balance that was there between defeating but not humiliating, ये था कि वॉर तो होगी. They used to get into war. अभी everybody, सबको अगर छोड़ देंगे तो फिर इनके पावर को कौन मानेगा? Who will accept their power? Who will consider them as powerful? Okay, so defeat, लोगों को हराना इनका काम था, लेकिन they did not humiliate their opponents. जो उनके ऑपोजिट जो लोग थे उनको बेइज्जत नहीं करते. and enabled the Mughals to extend their influence over many kings and chieftains. बहुत सारे रूलर्स ऐसे थे जिनके ऊपर मुगल्स ने अपना राजपाट एस्टैब्लिश किया. दे मेड देमसेल्व्स वेरी पावरफुल. लेकिन every time there was no balance. Sometimes rulers were good, sometimes the rulers were not very good also. So every time we did not get a ruler like Akbar, we also had some rulers like Aurangzeb. He insulted Shivaji. Shivaji said कि हमारा ये, this is our country, India is our country, and Mughals are outsiders, so I am not going to accept any outsider as my king. Mughals felt very bad. They said कि हम 300-400 सालों से यहाँ पे रह रहे हैं. We are staying in India, part of India. How can you say that we are outsiders? So, as a result, what was the consequence? इसका नतीजा क्या हुआ? Consequence का मतलब होता है result क्या हुआ? Shivaji was insulted by Aurangzeb. What was the result? What was the outcome? The story is there further. आगे है बेटा. The story that is there further, वो आपको अभी I'll be discussing it with you. Got it? So now Mughal emperors and their empire was rising and increasing day by day. Got it? There were some big Mansabdars and Jagirdars. Mansabdars were there, Jagirdars were there, and empire expanded to encompass different regions. All the areas nearby, जितने भी places थे, वो सारी जगह को मुगल्स अपने कब्जे में लेना चाहते थे. They encompass means to take it in their own power. Okay, Mughals always tried and Mughals always wanted to increase their power. So small nuclear, मतलब there were very less Turkish nobles who were called as Turanis, and they also expanded to include Iranians. Turan, Iran, from here the people were coming to work with the Mughals. Try to understand beta, you have to understand one thing, that खाली इंडिया के लोगों के साथ ही ये they did not maintain a relationship. I am talking about the Mughals. they have also maintained relationship with the outside people also, foreigners. And they're not Indians now, they were outsiders. So Indian Muslims, Afghans, Rajputs, Marathas and other groups were there who joined the Mughal service, and they were called as the Mansabdars. ठीक है, ये जो the different category people who were working under the Mughals enrolled like you are enrolled in army public school now, so you are getting this class online session that is happening and all the classes enrollment. तो those who were enrolled with the मुगल्स के राज में जो रह रहे थे उनको नाम दिया जाता था, जो मुगल्स के लिए काम करते थे, they were called as the Mansabdars. Try to remember the name, children. They were called as the Mansabdars. Who are Mansabdars? Mansabdars are individuals who hold a mansab. मनसबदार के पास क्या होता है? मनसब होता है. Mansab means a position or a rank. Like teachers are there, so you know that this is the maths teacher, this is the English teacher, this is the Hindi teacher. When you come to the school, you know there is a principal, there is a vice principal, all the positions you know. तो ये जो हमको रैंक मिला हुआ है, ये जो हमको the designation that we have got was called as mansab in the Mughal times. Mughals के टाइम पे it was called as a mansab. So this system was used by the Mughals. They used to give mansabs to the people who were working with the Mughals, and with this mansab came lot of responsibilities. जिन जिन लोगों को mansabdar बनाया जाता था, those who were made as mansabdar, they were given a rank, a salary, military responsibility. मतलब mansabdar बन गए हैं तो it is not like you just sit and enjoy. Nothing was there for enjoying. Lot of responsibilities came with lot of power. If you get a power, you will have to carry on certain responsibilities. Got it? So rank was given and salary was determined by numerical value. मतलब salary was said कि हम आपको 100 दिनार देंगे या 200 दिनार देंगे. Means I am talking about the currency that existed in those times. अभी भी है, दिनार तो अभी भी है. Okay? So ज़्यादा हायर पोजीशन अगर किसी को मिली है तो he was called as a zat. And more prestigious was the noble's position in court and larger his salary. Salary भी ज़्यादा होती थी the people who were zat, and the noble's position in the court and the salary, everything was very 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 well determined. बहुत अच्छे से लोगों को पता था. Okay? So this mansabdari system that was there, that existed in those times, you need to understand it very properly. The first kind of mansab or the rank that was given to a person who was working with the Mughals was called as the zat. क्या कहते थे? Zat. Okay? And the other one, the next category working under the Mughals were the Sawar. क्या? Sawar. So two categories were there, the Zat and the Sawar. Okay? Yes, we will be discussing it further in the next lesson. Till then, please keep revising. Thank you so much and all the best to you.